Question. Animal skin, part of an animal in clothes and shoes. According to the Vedas, is it a sin to wear leather? From the point of view of the Vedas, the Vedic culture never neglected to use animal skin. However, the skin was removed from animals that had already died on their own. The animals were never slaughtered. According to the Vedas, if a person wears shoes made of leather and so on, one undoubtedly takes on part of the sin of killing this cow. However, from the point of view of people who study this issue, the situation now is that it is very difficult to find normal shoes, for example. And in some cases you can afford to wear leather shoes, because sometimes there's simply no other choice, because other shoes may not be suitable for wearing. In some cases it is possible, but it is advisable not to use it, of course. Although I still don't know whether mine is made of leather or leatherette. Probably, most likely made of leatherette. Question. Let me ask you, when and why did you first say, "I wish everyone happiness"? From the point of view of the Vedas, is this phrase a prayer? There is a prayer in Sanskrit. It sounds like, "I wish everyone happiness, I wish everyone peace," and so on. There are whole long quatrains. "I wish everyone to be free from sadness," and so on. Every Ayurvedic doctor repeated it before starting treatment, and they also advised repeating it to their patients. As for me, regardless of Ayurveda, I studied all kinds of affirmations even before I became acquainted with the Vedas. This was about 12 years ago that I found that the "I wish everyone happiness" affirmation was most effective on consciousness. It most quickly produces results in changing a person's life and so on. And I chose this affirmation for myself. Why was I so attracted to the Vedas? Because when I started studying this knowledge, I was faced with the same information that it is only this affirmation that needs to be repeated. In general, there is no point in repeating another affirmation because all the others are not so effective. This is how I encountered it both in practice and in theory. Question. What about the meat processing plant? You see, they say, what about the meat processing plant? It means that a person eats meat and is strongly attached to meat. I am not reading any further. One wants to know what this disgrace is. Question. How was atherosclerosis treated at the meat processing plant? What causes atherosclerosis? What causes it? Meat. I advise you not to eat meat. Question. How to treat eyes with cow manure? Use double mixture, cow manure and clarified butter. If you tie this double mixture on your wrist, in these zones, and also tie it on your ring fingers, small pieces like that too. By the way, you can wear this bandage with clarified butter for 3 to 4 days. If it is sealed in a sachet, you can wear it for 3-4 days. You can use it for that long and the effect will last. How does it work? It affects the subtle energy body. Clarified butter, a cow has a subtle energy body, and products also have a subtle energy body. They interact with our subtle energy body. How effective is it? As soon as you apply it, you will immediately feel better. You'll see how effective it is. Question. Should I apply cow manure to my eyes, my hands, my feet? No, you don't need to apply it to your eyes. And if your eyes become inflamed, it is better to make a double mixture. Question. What spices should be added to milk? Cardamom, fennel, nutmeg, I have already mentioned it. In the morning, you can add any spices when you drink milk. In the evening, only those that I mentioned. If you have insomnia, add valerian allspice and cloves. Question. Is diabetes treated with dairy products? Try the herbal mixture. I have treated several patients whose insulin was reduced if a person was insulin dependent. And if one is not insulin dependent, one can be completely cured. To do this, you need to be treated in this way. Apply the triple mixture to your wrist. This is for diabetes. And try putting it on your little finger as well. Maybe there will be a result. But angiopathy, that is vascular changes, will definitely become much better or maybe disappear completely. Question. How to prepare clarified butter at home? Take a saucepan and put several packages of butter in it. Place on low heat, stirring constantly. After 10-15 minutes, the white part will separate. It will remain on the bottom, and on top there will be some amber-colored clear liquid. Then you need to turn off the stove and drain the clear liquid. and the white part that remains can be used in cooking. It's a very useful thing. Question: how can one get rid of intestinal worms? To get rid of worms, use wormwood roots, any type of wormwood. Also, pumpkin seeds help. They have a nerve paralytic effect. They cling to the intestines with their teeth, and when the pumpkin seeds go through the intestines, they paralyze the worms to death. But this is not related to our topic today. Question: what stone should I use for an 8-year-old child so that they can sleep alone in their room and not be afraid? Cat's eye, but not artificial, a natural one. Now, they're mostly artificial. Question: I had a broken leg, a foot. I underwent treatment, my leg swells, it hurts a lot, it's hard to walk. What should I do? If the veins are already suffering, then use the triple mixture. If the veins are not damaged, but just the fracture itself hurts, the double mixture is enough. It can cure. Question: what is the most effective method to treat allergies? To treat allergies, try both the double and triple mixtures. Sometimes the double mixture helps, sometimes the triple one. It all depends on the type of allergy. If you want, come over. I can tell you more specifically. It's just individual. Should the mixture be sealed in a polyethylene or cellophane bag? Is there a difference, polyethylene or cellophane? The thinner the better. Yes, polyethylene is possible, but I don't know the difference. Sorry. Question: in one of the lectures you said that you often travel to holy places. For what? I go to holy places because there I experience great happiness. As soon as a person enters the Holy Land, one immediately clears their consciousness from many sins, just by being present, living, being close to holy people who always live in holy places. However, I have to travel to other places because a person who accumulates knowledge but does not share it is like an empty, leaky pot into which no matter how much you pour, everything will pour out. That's why I travel to other places as well, for this reason. Question: if the rash is itchy all over the body, the dermatologist is powerless. What can one use? Yes, this is exactly the case when this can help. If the triple mixture is properly prepared, it can completely remove all this. And the double mixture as well, you should try both. Question: if dairy products have such a strong effect on our consciousness and body, cleansing it, tuning it, then doesn't this mean that by doing this, we reduce the importance of increasing the level of self-awareness through spiritual practice? That by doing this, we are reducing the importance of increasing the level of self-awareness through spiritual practice. What's the influence? What do you mean by reducing? I did not understand anything. That is, if we are undergoing treatment, then what is the meaning of spiritual practice? Is it being belittled or what? This is part of spiritual practice. A person who does not use dairy products finds it very difficult to engage in spiritual practice. According to the Vedas, the greatest saints who studied the Vedas, all of them ate only milk, only milk. That is, it shows the level of consciousness. When a person reaches a certain level of consciousness, one simply does not need other food. One drinks a glass of milk a day, and that's enough. What does a decrease in the level of spiritual practice have to do with it? What are you talking about? There is such a thing as milk fasting. There are already several people here in this lecture hall who underwent it. During this fast, they experience mental changes that you have never even dreamed of. Raise your hand. Who has experienced the milk fast? How do you like it? How are you feeling? She feels good. I didn't make this up. A person simply drinks milk and does nothing else. And the result is amazing. The mental state changes. Health changes. The entire body is cleansed. Why don't we do this? Such is the influence of the century of degradation. There is a very strong influence of science, which says that milk is bad, dairy products are bad, all this is bad, it should not be used. Meat is good, drinking is good in small quantities, sex with someone else's wife is good in small quantities. Sex with a dog will also be good soon and in small quantities. This means degradation altogether, both this and that and the third. What else can I tell you? About the milk fast. You just take the milk, heat it up, add cardamom, fennel, nutmeg. You can use such spices and drink the milk. Any time of the day, as much as you want, little by little. Several times. You can drink milk at any time. And you drink it little by little, as much as you want. all day. If you want in the evening, then drink it in the evening. That's it. I can't add anything more. How many days? It's best no more than 5-6 days. I think no more than 5-6 days. No other food should be taken at this time, and gradually finish fasting by consuming dairy products. Everything must be prepared with milk. To end fasting, you need to start eating, for example, vegetables stewed in milk. I forgot to tell you that food acquires properties of pure goodness only due to the presence of all dairy products. Therefore, according to the Vedas, some type of dairy product must be added to each dish, either cheese or cottage cheese, or sour cream, or milk. And this food changes its taste enormously. It becomes much tastier. You just need to know what to add, how, and in what proportions. In fact, all Vedic cuisine is based on cooking using a certain dose of some kind of dairy product. The taste is amazing. Who did this? Raise your hand. Do you feel the effect? Those who don't do this can go home and try it. Then you won't be able to drag them away. Is it possible to drink during a milk fast? Water? Why drink water if there is a beverage? You can drink the beverage. In general, it's better not to drink water during meals. You can drink it later, after. Question: is it possible to cure a mental illness? Yes, quadruple mixture can treat mental illnesses, for example, psychosis, schizophrenia. It can be treated very effectively. You have no idea how much. In this case, you also need to tie it to your index finger, not only to your wrist. It also should be tied to the index finger, and mental illnesses are treated. Advanced pyelonephritis is treated with a triple mixture. If it is acute, then use the double mixture. All acute diseases are treated with the double mixture. Chronic diseases with the triple mixture. Question: how can asthma be cured? You need to be treated with a triple mixture. Question: how can you explain the fact that a person digests milk from one cow normally, but if one mixes milk from several cows, it causes an upset stomach in almost 20 minutes? This happens very rarely. I haven't heard much about it. I have a lot of experience. I have rarely met such people. Because 1 in 1,000 people may have this. Basically, this phenomenon does not happen to everyone, so don't worry about that. What to do if you have such a problem? You can start drinking milk mixed from several cows in small doses, and all this will go away. How can this be explained? This can be explained by increased sensitivity to dairy products. That's all, nothing more. Question: how to treat thrombophlebitis? Use the triple mixture. Also, the triple mixture helps if there's gastrointestinal atony. I also want to tell you that in fact, the best way to prepare bread is to use kefir. You can add soda in it, and then this bread will be pure goodness. Bread itself is in goodness. If yeast is used, it loses its properties of pure goodness. And if you cook it with kefir, it acquires these properties, and such bread can even treat the psyche. If you make bread in pure goodness with prayers, then you can restore mentally ill people. I even know cases where people do this and get good results. Question: my dad drinks milk, kefir, loves dairy products very much, but his nervous system is still disturbed. That's why he loves them, because the nervous system is disturbed. Sometimes people are destined to have a very weak nervous system. They intuitively understand that they need to eat dairy products. However, in order to heal his nervous system, he needs to use the double mixture at night, every day, and his nervous system will be fine. Question: how to treat infections using dairy products? In case of infections, use the quadruple mixture. There must be a pyrogenic effect. Dried milk gives a strong boost to the immune system if the quadruple mixture is used. You can treat with the double mixture, just clarified butter and cow's milk, but it can be used for treatment only for a few days, as there will be a strong increase in body activity. You can do this. Combine clarified butter, dried milk, and cow manure. It's a different triple blend for the treatment of purely infectious diseases. Clarified butter, milk powder, and cow manure. You can use one bought at a store. You take clarified butter, add powdered dry milk, and a neutral smell appears. And then you add dried cow manure there until a fresh smell appears. And you should make the same bandages on the wrist and on the shin. 4 bandages should always be prepared in all cases so that you don't get confused. And you can walk around with this mixture placed in sachets. The prepared mixture, by the way, needs to be stored in the freezer. There it doesn't spoil at all. And you can treat any infectious diseases in this way. The body itself will get healed from the infection by strengthening the immune system. Question: is cow urine a product in pure goodness? How to use it? I said that this is a product of pure goodness. Even the altar rooms are washed with cow urine. This is a product of pure goodness, and it's very easy to use. You can cleanse the body this way. Mix 2 parts water and 1 part cow urine, 2 to 1, and you can fast drinking this mixture. Drink as much as you like. You can't fit more than you can drink, because the taste is far from pleasant, but the result is good. Question: how much clarified butter should one eat for lunch? Do you already count kilograms? Well, how much? It's different for everyone. Look at the clarified butter and think about how much you should eat. If you feel 1 teaspoon is enough, then eat 1. If it's 1 tablespoon, then eat 1 tablespoon. It all depends on how you feel. If you think that you would have eaten the whole jar, this means that you need to think again after eating. That's greed, and you won't be able to define it that way. Question: is it possible to make clarified butter from the butter that is now sold in stores? If this butter is made at some local factories, most often neither vegetable nor even animal fats are added there, because they don't understand the taste of all this. However, all imported butter is always mixed with something, even though they say they are absolutely pure. In fact, they are deceiving, because even by the smell, I can tell what it's mixed with. Unfortunately, sometimes people cheat in the markets, and they sell a mixture of butter with pork or beef fat. This can be determined very easily. Pure cow butter smells very light and fresh. The smell is light. If there are any additives, then some additional smell is added to this smell. Smells a little like cologne. Some strange aroma can be felt. And if there is animal fat there, then it smells a little like rotten meat. There is no longer any freshness or lightness in the smell. You can use butter which you buy in the store. And if you are at the market, buying by weight, then take a little of it and smell it. Compare the smells. You will immediately feel the difference, instantly. It is through comparison that you can determine whether there are impurities or not. Very easy to determine. Where is the shin located? The shin below is the ankle. Below is the ankle. Question: is it possible to drink water during the milk fast? It's possible sometimes, but the best is to drink just milk. Sometimes you can have water. A person may not quench thirst with milk. Question: until what age is it recommended for a mother to breastfeed her child in the Vedic tradition? I don't want to answer this question. You will run away from my lecture. It is believed that the more the better. You can breastfeed a child up to 5 years. This does not mean breastfeeding only. It's additional food. When a mother breastfeeds her children, she conveys to them her mental qualities of character and thus cultivates pure goodness in them. The more she breastfeeds, the more the child is filled with warmth, love, and kindness towards the people around. Mother transmits her qualities through milk. She conveys love, the power of love. A child who is breastfed for less than 6 to 8 months feels deprived. They feel like there's not enough love in life. One feels some kind of mental impairment. The best thing is to breastfeed your child for at least 1.5 years. It's the minimum. Question: how can I help my mother? Her knee was operated on. She fell and broke a kneecap. It is necessary to use additional herbs in treatment, but the triple milk mixture is also sufficient. It will greatly intensify the healing process. Question: how does a refrigerator affect the vital energy of the products, including dairy products? If we now begin to consider how everything affects us, then we will need to escape into the forest. Because here there are TVs nearby, microwaves, and all this has an effect. The very pure goodness of this product is not lost. A product of pure goodness remains in goodness because it is subtle energy. The refrigerator is powered by electricity. Electricity is physical and therefore affects the tissues of the physical body. But the energy of the milk is subtle and they do not mix with each other. Do you understand? There is some physical impact, possibly on the chemical composition of milk. Some kind of ionization will occur. But as far as subtle influence is concerned, it will not change at all. You can be sure you can leave everything in the refrigerator. Question: and what about goat's milk? What are its healing properties? It can heal in the same way, but it cannot clear consciousness, because the animal itself, the goat, is in the passion stage. Therefore, it cannot clear a person's consciousness. If you really need treatment, then treat with goat's milk. Question: cheese and the dairy industry use rennet. What should we do? You can make cheese yourself, it's very fast. And the recipe, I need to find out everything, write it down. I don't cook, I'm not a specialist, but I can find out and tell you. Question: how to treat varicose veins? Use the triple mixture. You can treat even more effectively with the double mixture. Fermented milk product combined with clarified butter. Veins, muscles, hernias, all that can be treated very quickly. Clarified butter and fermented milk product. It's a double mixture. Bring to a neutral smell when mixing. Sniff, add until the smell becomes neutral. Stones in the gallbladder. The triple mixture will resolve everything for sure. If the stone is small, then you can make a quadruple one. It will dissolve even faster. At the same time, if you eat bread at night, then there is no chance that your stones will dissolve. Question: does cow's milk treat schizophrenia? Quadruple mixture treats schizophrenia. Milk itself may help, but it's unlikely to cure it. Question: tell us please, what do you think about pasteurized milk being widely sold? I repeat again, milk does not lose its subtle energy properties. It only loses physical ones. The same thing with meat. Whatever you do, whether you fry or steam it, scroll in a meat grinder, even if it is not visible from the outside. If you eat, you will still be befouled. Exactly the same with milk. No matter what you do with it, you will still get the same result. Pure goodness will remain pure goodness. Whether you boil it or not, it doesn't matter. Understand this idea. This is a subtle influence, not a physical one. Question: explain, if possible, how to make cheese and cottage cheese at home at the next lecture, and about bread at the next lecture. Question: a cow eats grass, which means she commits violence. How does milk remain sinless in the material world? And you are breathing air now, and every second you inhale thousands of microbes that are destroyed in your mouth. When you step on the floor, you also kill many small living creatures, microorganisms that are on the floor. It is impossible to live in this world without violence. However, the cow, with her love, destroys the sin of eating this grass. When she eats grass, she thus commits violence. But she doesn't kill, only shortens it a little, unlike us. Therefore, there is not too much violence, there is no murder at all. Then when the cow digests it, she lovingly thinks about her calf, or simply about those whom she feeds with her milk. She produces this milk. That is, the energy of love burns away all sins. Therefore, cow's milk is a very pure product. A cow has a very kind mind. She has almost no bad thoughts. Even when she butts heads, she does it kindly. Therefore, you should know this. This is very difficult to understand, but you can experiment. Spread, say, horse droppings in your apartment and see what it smells like. Then smear it with cow manure and see what it smells like. And then you will understand which animal is in pure goodness, which is in passion. If you smear horse manure there, the apartment will smell like manure for a long time. And if you spread cow manure there, it will smell very good. There will be a fresh, light, pleasant smell. Many people, let's say even in your tradition, coated the inside of houses with cow manure. It kept freshness there all day long. Freshness, coolness, very pleasant sensations remain there for the whole day. There is no befoulment. The atmosphere is very clean. Saints in India smear everything with cow manure, all the walls, floor, ceiling. And there are places where they study, spiritual schools, which are all built in nature. The floor there is always made of cow manure, meaning it is also completely smeared with manure, and they constantly spray water with cow manure there. This helps clear the mind, and then it will be easier for children to study. Question: if cow manure is dried under the sun, does it lose any properties? It doesn't lose anything. This is nonsense. It loses absolutely nothing. Question: is it possible to cure female genital dysfunction with dairy products? It's not just possible, but it's necessary. Necessary with the triple mixture. In addition, you need to actively eat butter, sour cream, and natural whipping cream. And don't eat meat. For those who eat meat, all this treatment will be useless. Question, can I get a recommendation for allergy treatment? Use double mixture, I already said. Well, okay, it's already quite late. I hope that you got something useful from this lecture. And whoever of you will do it, will put it into practice, raise your hand. Just try not to use it. Now I remember you all, just try not to use it. When you do this, if something doesn't work out for you, come to me with these sachets. I'll tell you what's wrong. Okay? We have a consultant specifically on treatment with dairy products. Please contact him too. He will tell you everything. Let's wish everyone happiness.